Hello, this is Jeff Hamrick at the University of San Francisco's Financial Analysis program. This is a brief tutorial on a couple of basic functions in Stata that relate to variables in a data set. So in particular, what I want to talk about is changing the name of a variable, sorting the data by some variable, and dropping particular variables or replacing particular entries in a variable list with new information. So let's do these things one at a time. The command to rename a variable is rename. So suppose I take this variable body fat and I decide I want to call it body fat percentage to remind myself that it's actually body fat percentage. I would put in the variable whose name I would like to change and then the new name next to it. And as you can see, the name of the variable changes from body fat to body fat percentage. So that's how you change the name of a variable in Stata. Sorting is also a useful function in Stata as well. If you do sort, for example, I could sort this data set by body fat percentage. So I'll do body fat percentage. And then if I browse, I can see that the data have been sorted in increasing order in terms of body fat percentage. And what sorting lets me do in this particular case is see that, for example, we probably have a typo, an outlier for one of these individuals who has recorded a body fat percentage of 0, and that person should probably either not be in the data set or we should remeasure body fat percentage for that person and replace it since it's most likely the case that that person does not have 0% body fat. So what I'm going to do is drop that particular case, and so all you could do, there are a number of ways you could do this. You could use the command drop in 1, and that will drop the case that's located in row 1 of the data set. Another way to proceed is to use an if statement to say drop if body fat percentage is equal to 0. And then if I use this command and rebrowse the data, I see that the case with body fat percentage equal to 0 has been removed. Okay? So another thing that might happen is that you might want to edit the entries either for particular cases or for particular variables in this data set. And in general, a decent way to go about doing that is to use the replace command. So suppose that I notice that this body fat percentage is 1.9%. I think that that's wrong. I take the person associated with this entry, with this case, and I make them do the water flotation test for body fat percentage one more time. And then on the remeasurement, I find out that they have 3.8% body fat, and that's a lot more realistic than 1.9% body fat. So I want to replace this particular entry with, let's say, 3.9% body fat percentage. So what I could use is the replace command, and what I could say is replace body fat percentage with the value 3.9% in row 1. So if I do this and I rebrowse the data, I see that that 1.9 has been replaced with 3.9. Okay, so that is how you do a replacement of a particular value in a data set as well. So just very quickly, we learned how to rename variables, we learned how to sort by particular variables, we learned how to drop variables, condition on particular properties of variables. So we learned how to drop particular cases, condition on certain values of variables, and we learned how to replace particular values of variables for particular cases. By the way, of course, if you just use the drop command on a set of variables, you can eliminate them from the data set. So I could use drop to eliminate both thigh and knee from this data set, and so now they're gone. Okay, so that's a quick tour of some functions in Stata that let you manipulate data sets by variables or the case number in the data set. Let me know if you have any questions.